All right, folks, now let's talk about Smackdown. You got John Cena, Roman Reigns. The exchanges they've had over the last few weeks have been fantastic.
I agree totally. It's been awesome. It's been awesome to hear. I feel like pretty unscripted promos, but yeah, there's
what we're seeing, excuse me, is Edge, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and fucking John Cena being professional wrestlers. They're cutting promos. John Cena's been around long enough that he probably came around right when the scripted started, but it wasn't like so scripted like we were used to over the last like 10 years. Bullet points, more scripted. We're seeing people being pro wrestlers. Yes, we like to see flippy shit in the fucking ring, but we also like to hear motherfuckers talking shit. Conor McGregor isn't scripted. Nick Diaz isn't scripted. And that's the reason why we love those guys. And we're hearing real wrestling. It's a breath of fresh air. I said it in the episode before this. It's a breath of fresh air. It's perfect.
It is. It is a great thing that we are actually seeing these guys go at it when you know that they're actually shooting from the hip, and it's a very different feeling, like you said. But you know, one thing that's really different is this pay-per-view is stacked. Like SummerSlam is set to be really awesome, and I mean. And that's saying something coming from me because fucking Goldberg's on it. And that makes me want to vomit in my mouth.
I hope Goldberg wins just to hear Brian Reznor bitch about it.
Oh, man. You have no idea how pissed off I'll be if Goldberg comes through and wins the title again. That will make me so mad. Man, I'll be so mad.
Dude, they put him over Brock Lesnar. You don't think they're going to not put him over Bobby Lashley?
Shut up.
It's going to happen, Rez.
You shut your fucking
It's going to Hey, Derek Jones, don't you think Goldberg's winning?
I don't like the idea of Goldberg being in the pay-per-view, much less the fact that he might actually win. But it's a very strong possibility. Why are you going to pay that guy as much money as they are for as few dates as they are just for him to lose?
How about
exactly?
How about this? Why are you going to put the belt on a man who was absolutely destroyed by a man you just released? Why would you want your world title on the waist of a man who was destroyed? And destroyed is what he was by Braun Strowman. If you destroy this guy with Braun Strowman and then you release Braun Strowman, you are basically putting someone that everyone knows is better than your champion somewhere else. That guy is dying. He is chomping at the bit to get out there and be back in wrestling, and he is not going to be in the WWE. So you're really going to put the belt on the guy he destroyed last year? I think it's a bad idea. But it was a bad idea to put it on him in the first place. It was a bad idea to take him off the Atlanta Falcons fucking bench. It was a bad idea to train him. It was a bad idea to bring him into wrestling, period. Everything about Goldberg was a bad idea. So no, I really hope this doesn't happen.
Dude, okay, so wait. Look, man, there's about a fucking 18-month period where Goldberg was the biggest thing that had ever been in wrestling, Brian Reznor.
That is the most ridiculous thing that you could
It's true. It's fucking true.
First of all, the big event, the big Nitro that sold out and got the biggest ratings, Hulk Hogan was in that match, bro. Hulk Hogan.
God. That's not why it did it. Hulk Hogan had been fucking boring as fuck.
My man.
No, Hulk Hogan was boring as for fucking months before Goldberg showed up.
That was Hollywood Hogan, bro.
Derek Jones was 9, and he'll tell you that fucking Goldberg was fucking amazing.
Okay, listen.
At that time, I'm not saying now. I'm saying at that time, yes, he was the only thing that was new, that was good, and that WCW
had
did.
A lot of fans. The Ultimate Warrior had a ton of fans. Was he amazing? No, he wasn't fucking amazing.
Hey, Goldberg is fucking Daniel Bryan compared to fucking Ultimate Warrior.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
But Bill Goldberg is the Ultimate Warrior.
No, he's not. No,
and a less impressive body.
No, well, yeah, but I mean that's steroids. That's not fair.
The only thing Goldberg ever had, was the greatest spear of all time. That is it. That is all.
And the streak. He beat 176 people straight, Brian Reznor.
4 of those were roadblock. Listen, I don't want to talk about Goldberg. Goldberg wasn't even on any of these shows except for in commercials about SummerSlam. But the point is, Goldberg is on SummerSlam, and I am still looking forward to this event as one of the biggest pay-per-views we've seen from the WWE in a long time. Having Edge versus Seth Rollins, and having Roman Reigns versus John Cena, and having Bobby Lashley face off with fucking Goldberg is huge. And they even give me a little bit for the Usos and Mysterio. I'm kind of excited about the Mysterios versus the Usos, even though I cannot stand Dominic or that tag team.
That tag team sucks, man. Why is that a tag team?
But this Usos feud's kind of cool.
How awesome was Seth Rollins' suit?
It was great. I have a question about that. When they dumped black liquid onto Seth Rollins, is that because blood is not cool to do anymore? Like, you can't do the bloodbath anymore? Is that
That's a good point. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
It was black. And if you notice, Pat McAfee said a brood, what did he say? Brood
bath.
A brood bath, not a blood bath that the Brood did, but a brood bath. And how big would you have popped if Gangrel would have came out the floor? I would have.
I'd have popped. I think Gangrel's overrated, but I'd have popped.
I wish they would have just hit the music. Even if they weren't going to have Gangrel, the music should have actually hit, because
they did. They had the Brood music happen.
It didn't kick in though. It was just the beginning. Okay. It was just the beginning, over and over and over again. But the actual that song, I think, is one of the most badass pro wrestling
things
of all time.
It is. I
think Pat McAfee is the man. Like,
yes, he makes SmackDown.
Yep.
He makes Michael Cole worth listening to.
Dude, I was at SmackDown, and he does this thing during commercial breaks where he stands up on top of the desk and basically cuts a promo. He cuts a promo. Like, Pat McAfee just like he just like be awesome for 2 minutes. And when he did that, dude, the fucking crowd went crazy. They fucking love him. It's like the Pat McAfee minute or some shit like that. And it only happens off of camera, I'm pretty sure.
It kind of blows my mind that they don't want him wrestling, because
even in a manager role, like doing both, kind of, like how Bobby Heenan did both, like was a commentator and then also went out with people. I think that Pat has everybody in the palm of his hand, so we utilize him as much as possible. He wants.
But you've seen the match with Adam Cole. Why is this guy not wrestling?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Did you see
beyond me? Did
you see his? It was like his vlog from his podcast when he bought a wrestling ring. Did you see that one? It was pretty awesome. So he like tells the story of getting drunk and making purchases and not realizing really exactly what he bought. And he's standing in the wrestling ring and he's like, well, I did it fucking this time, boys. I got so drunk, ordered a $5,000 wrestling ring. Looks like I'm going to be a wrestler.
Dude, he's great. He's tailor-made. He's tailor-made for wrestling. And if you want to talk about like all of the football players who've transferred to wrestling, who would have thought that a fucking punter would have been the best football player? Although Jeff Jarrett did play in the CFL for a little while and the USFL. Who would have thought that Pat McAfee would have been the best wrestler out of football?
No.
Although Goldberg.
No.
Who?
Dusty Rhodes.
What?
Tully Blanchard.
Was a football player.
He didn't play NFL though. He played in college.
What are you talking about? Dusty Rhodes was on the Minnesota Vikings.
I don't think so.
Or maybe not the Minnesota Vikings. He was on a professional sport. I guarantee you.
I don't think so. Oh, wait. Derek Jones, stop. I know. This is where you're going to tell us about Randy Macho Man's fucking baseball career.
I don't know. I'm going to tell you about the best football player to ever step foot in a ring, and his name was Pac-Man Jones.
Stop. Get fucking. Okay, so
had a great tag team feud against the Dudleys.
Get the fuck out of here. Did you all watch one of the commercials for Smackdown? Was the rough? Well, if you're in West Virginia, you would have seen it. Was the rough and ready fucking commercial, and Pac-Man Jones is fighting for the fucking amateur boxing shit. No, stop. Pat McAfee is the best football player that's transferred to fucking wrestling. Except
Damien Jones.
second to Goldberg.
The Rock.
He didn't play. Well, he didn't
say he didn't play. He played.
He played for the universe. He did. He never made it on an actual team. He was like a practice squad. He played for University of Miami, but he didn't even start for that team. He was a tight end on that University of Miami team that won the championship.
He played in the Canadian Football League.
He did play. You're right. Okay. So yeah, it's Goldberg and then The Rock.
Under Pac-Man Jones. Yeah, I agree.
You're the fucking worst. No.
But yeah, Pat McAfee, he's so fucking good, man. It's just everything he touches. It's like Paul Heyman to me. It's like if you give him the moment, he's going to make the most of it and make it shine.
If you've been keeping up with him, like, dude, he's been killing it on Outkick or not Outkick. Shit, what's that sports blog? Reznor, you know.
I don't. I've been looking at Dusty Rhodes' football career. It's Orlando Panthers. He played for the Continental Football League, and he was offered a deal to play for the Miami Dolphins, and that's when he had first started wrestling. And he said to the Miami Dolphins, "I no longer play professional football, Daddy." And
so then Dusty Rhodes is just under Goldberg as the football player that transferred over to the professional wrestling.
Don't you ever say that Dusty Rhodes is under Goldberg. You are skating on fucking thin ice.
I'm about to be fucking future endeavored in this motherfucker.
Yes, you're about to be future endeavored. Don't you ever say that again.
So get us on Smack.
I hate to break everybody's heart, but you guys have been talking about him. I have to let y'all know, like, just on the front side, I hate Pat McAfee.
What?
Really?
Whoa! How?
I don't like nothing about the guy.
What?
When he first showed up, I didn't like him. The only thing I ever enjoyed was Adam Cole bitching him out on his show.
That was getting great. You guys see that?
Like,
I haven't.
Great on Adam Cole, and he's just sitting there like, "What did I do?" You know?
Yeah, but that match with Adam Cole, you didn't like that match with Adam Cole? That match was great.
That was awesome.
I didn't.
Man, I loved it. I was so surprised by Pat McAfee in that match.
Yeah,
dude, he's a good athlete, man. That's a punter that was an actual athlete as well.
Yeah, for sure. So more about SmackDown. Anything else stand out to you? One thing that did stand out to me was Michael Cole explaining to Pat McAfee as if he was a child who has never watched wrestling what is in the briefcase. Like, goddamn, does he not know what's in the briefcase? Like,
that's Vince McMahon telling him, talk to us like we're 5 and we're all Michael Scott. Explain it to us like we're 5 years old, and that's what that was. He
literally explained that to Pat McAfee like 3 times. I was expecting Pat McAfee to be like, "Yeah, I know." What the fuck are you talking?
I went to college. I understand.
I don't like Baron Corbin's new thing.
I love it. What?
I don't like it either.
I love it. I love it.
I mean, you know what I do like about it is I like how dedicated Baron Corbin is to it.
That's what I'm saying. He's fucking selling it.
He's doing a great job. It's a terrible gimmick. It's a bad joke on Baron Corbin, I believe. I feel like this is like Bruce Pritchard fucking ribbing him or something. But he's dedicated to it. He's definitely showing that he will 100% dive in no matter how terrible the story is.
Now, hold on. Now, do you think that what he's doing right now is better than anything he's done before it? Because was anything good before that?
No,
I think in NXT.
I think,
of course you'd say that.
No, when he was in NXT, he was awesome. It's sort of like Adam Rose. Remember Adam Rose? He was Leo Kruger in NXT, and he was awesome. And then he came to the main roster and sucked, like so many other people.
I was going to say Keith Lee was awesome in NXT too.
Well, not to mention Bo Dallas was like literally one of the best heels ever. And they brought him to the main roster and was like, "Oh, we have no idea what to do with this amazing talent." And now where's Bo Dallas? We don't know. We have no fucking clue.
He'll be all elite eventually.
I wish.
He'll be jobbing to CM Punk soon.
Actually, I'd like to see him in the NWA. I think the NWA would do really well for Bo Dallas.
I agree. And that's what I wanted to say too, is what a time to be a wrestling fan right now. Like, just look at this week. Like, let's name all the events that are just this week, right? So you got Raw going into.
Yeah. You had Raw, you had NXT, the go home for NXT TakeOver. Then you had AEW Dynamite. Then on Thursday, you had Impact on Access, where Christian Cage came back and retired the TNA Championship. And now there's only one belt instead of two. And then also on Friday tonight, there was Impact Emergence. And then there was Smackdown, and then there was Rampage, and then tomorrow is NXT TakeOver, and then Sunday is SummerSlam. This is a wrestling week. Like, it's stacked. Man, my wife is pissed about it, but whatever.
Oh, dude, my fiance was so happy to watch 3 hours of fucking wrestling on Friday night. She was so thrilled. Let's get back to the SmackDown, though.
I'm just kidding about my wife. My wife actually is a really good sport about it and sets them watching.
Mine's a pretty good sport, too.
She pretends like she gives a shit, and I really appreciate her.
She does the same thing. Let's get back to, man, Edge killed it on that first fucking promo tonight, dude.
That promo was unbelievable. Like, I mean, he makes you feel everything, and that's why Edge is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Well, you know what it is? You can tell that this is a guy who thought that he lost his dream. You know, he was told he was never going to wrestle again, and he's coming back, and you can hear fire. That motherfucker's got fire in his belly because he was told you can't ever do this thing that you've wanted to do since you were, 17 when he wrote the fucking essay to get into wrestling school?
He wanted to do this since he was 7 years old. Like, well, yeah.
And he comes off like a guy who has a new lease on life. He looks like $1 million. I don't think he's ever looked better.
No,
ever. As he ever physically, he is in the top shape of his life.
And that promo was fucking money. I can't fucking wait to watch Seth Rollins probably win.
I think Seth Rollins. Let's do that. Let's talk about who's going to win at SummerSlam, and I'll go around and get all
Goldberg.
Shut up. Anyway, so we'll start with the Mysterios, who have a brand new Wu-Tang inspired t-shirt.
I said the same thing. That's Wu Wear. That's a copyright infringement.
Yes.
As a man who owned a bunch of Wu Wear back in the day,
Me too.
That's fucking infringement, son.
I wish I could actually go to the store and buy Wu Wear right now.
I wish I could fit in the stuff that I had that was Wu Wear.
I would buy. But anyway, the Mysterios versus the Usos. Do you feel like the Mysterios are going to get the titles back, or do you think the Usos are going to keep it?
I hope not. Who cares? They suck. And Rey Mysterio's the best, but that tag team sucks. Derek, tell me that I'm wrong.
I don't know that you're wrong, but Usos are going over because Dominic's turning heel.
Oh, I like that. That could make me care about Dominic. What about you, Matt Mullins? Usos or the Mysterios?
I like the Usos, and I agree totally that the only thing that could make me care about Dominic is if he turns heel.
Okay, so Barker, do you want to give a call on that, Usos or Mysterios?
I mean, if you're going to keep the Usos with Roman Reigns, they got to keep all the hardware if they're going to go. But then that goes to that's later. We don't want to do any spoilers. Is John Cena going to get the 17th? You know what I mean? Like, it could go either way. Like, if Roman wins,
spoilers, we don't know what's going to happen. We're just guessing.
If Roman wins, then Usos win. If Roman loses, then the Usos lose.
Okay, so I think the Usos are going to win, and now we'll go to Roman Reigns and John Cena. Roman Reigns and John Cena. I personally think Roman Reigns is going over. I believe that John Cena is totally building up this 17. I think that Roman's going to screw him out of it, and it's going to make Roman an even bigger heel, and it's going to make that even better, and it's going to make when John Cena comes back again to face Roman even bigger. So I believe that we're definitely going to see Roman Reigns win that match. What do you think, Matt Mullins? Roman Reigns, John Cena?
I think that Roman Reigns is doing so good on the mic, and the alignment with Paul Heyman is too good, and they're not taking the belt off of him anytime soon. I think he'll have it for another year.
I think we're seeing a Triple H run. Yeah, I agree 100%. Derek Jones, Roman Reigns, John Cena, who's taking it?
I think the only reason they brought John Cena back was to put Roman over as a bigger heel than what he already is, because that's the only guy that could elevate Roman to that level, not in ring or anything else, but just that overall attitude and, heel face scenario to put him over as a massive heel, it had to be John Cena. And I think it goes all the way through to Mania. And I think something happens there at Mania.
I love how they broke the fourth wall with John Cena tonight and him saying, they all say that Roman Reigns is going to win because John Cena's got a movie to film. And it's like he brought it right out in the open of what actual, fans that have been fans for a long time are saying. Stephen Barker, where do you stand, Roman Reigns, John Cena?
I read once that John Cena said that he never wanted to beat Ric Flair's record because he's tied.
People do change their mind.
But man, as much as Smarks hate John Cena, that's a guy that respects and loves the business. I think out of respect for the business that we know that he has, and you could not be a fan of his either way.
Right.
But there is a quote online that he said he never wanted to beat Ric Flair's title record. So I don't think that he's here to put Roman Reigns over. He's also here to remind us that John Cena is an all-time great, man. He's fucking awesome. Me and Brian saw him live. I was at a Smackdown and Brian was at a Super Show, and dude, the crowd has turned. There's no Cena sucks, man. That guy he is grandfathered in.
Yeah, he's Hulk Hogan. He's Triple H. He's
Stop. Did you go Hogan and Triple H?
I mean, when Triple H every time Triple H has ever returned, it's the biggest fucking pop you've ever heard. Are you trying to take that away from Triple H?
It's not as big a pop as Goldberg gets.
Hey, you shut your fucking mouth! Oh my god!
No, he's gonna drive to you.
Triple H gets huge pops when he comes back. Every time he comes back, when that music hits, Triple H gets a pop, and so does Hulk Hogan, and so does these people. Well, I mean, Hulk Hogan not as much anymore since he became a Klansman or whatever, but there's a lot of big pops out there, and John Cena gets that type of pop now. So now we will shift gears to Edge versus Seth Rollins, which I think is going to be like match of the decade. I'm super excited to see this match, but I do believe that Edge is going over because we have seen really since his Royal Rumble victory, we've seen nothing but losses, and I think that Edge is due a win now, and we're going to see Edge win against Seth Rollins. Matt Mullins, where do you stand on that?
I agree totally. I think that you're going to see Edge win. I mean, it's been different because I was really hoping that at WrestleMania Edge would go over.
Me too.
I thought for sure we were going to see it, and we haven't really got the Edge title run that I was expecting. So I think that they're going to push him in that spotlight one more time.
Well, maybe. Actually, I'll say that at the end of this. Derek Jones, where are you at?
Edge is going over. Has to.
Edge has to go over. Okay, Stephen Barker, what about you?
I honestly don't know. I don't know because, Edge is getting older. And if he goes over, then you have to eventually put the fucking belt on him because what's the point? But he's another dude that we know loves the business, and it might be time for him to give Seth Rollins the rub. So then we have a Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns thing, right? You got all that history. What is more relevant? Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, two guys in the Shield that's left.
I feel like you have to turn Seth for that to work.
Yeah,
is he not turned? I mean, yeah.
No, Seth is still heel, and you're over here putting over Goldberg, and then you want to talk about Edge's age. Get out of here.
Wait. Since we're talking about
Edge's was never as over as Goldberg was in 1998.
Okay, you need to shut up.
It's true.
Jesus
it's true.
Okay,
I'm not even a WCW guy from the fucking Monday Night Wars.
Let's talk about Goldberg for a second. If we're going to I think we're going to put Edge over Seth Rollins, and we're not going to see Edge beat Roman Reigns because we've already talked about how Roman Reigns is going to keep the title for a long time.
That's my point.
So maybe if the WWE, which is completely capable of making the worst fucking mistakes ever, if the WWE what makes the worst mistake ever and runs Goldberg through Bobby Lashley and gives Goldberg that belt, maybe they can save it by bringing Edge to Raw to beat Goldberg for the belt. That's the only way that Goldberg can win the title, and I'll be okay with it. But
Spear versus spear.
That would be great. Spear versus spear. That's what they should have done at WrestleMania when they were trying to fill in the spot. They should have done Randy Orton and Edge in the first night, and then Edge should have beat Randy Orton and then went the second night to take on Goldberg for the championship, and he should have won the belt. That's what should have happened at WrestleMania. That's what we should have seen. But
you guys are so close. You're almost there, but you're forgetting this one little thing.
What?
Vince loves threesomes. I mean, triple threats. Triple threats. Vince loves triple threats. So you have spear versus spear versus spear, and that's how they'll book it.
Oh, man.
And it's going to be awful. And I hate that I even thought of it.
It's going to be terrible.
Man,
and we're all going to watch it, too. It's going to be awful, and we're all going to watch it.
I'm so disappointed that we got Goldberg. I feel like we bought Brock Lesnar off of Wish, and we got Goldberg for this match when we all wanted Brock Lesnar. We wanted Brock Lesnar versus Bobby Lashley. It's all we've ever wanted since we seen Bobby Lashley fight MMA. Honestly, since Bobby Lashley went and fought MMA, it's been concreted that is the match that somebody needs to book, and no one ever has. And we were supposed to get it, and then we got Goldberg, which was the worst fucking replacement you could have possibly got. But now we have this match, Goldberg versus Bobby Lashley. The only thing that I can hope is that Goldberg doesn't fucking hurt Bobby Lashley. Like that is my main. I just hope Bobby Lashley can get through this match without that unprofessional, untrained piece of shit motherfucker taking him out of wrestling like he did Bret Hart. And you guys are laughing. I'm not laughing. It's not funny. Bret Hart, his whole career was taken away from him because of this Atlanta Falcons bench guy coming into our profession, into the sport of kings. He came to the sport of kings, and we let him in. We let him in, and we let him defeat all of our heroes, and we let him completely run through Raven and take his U.S. title for no reason, which is what.
Oh my
really
God! Is this what this is about?
That's what it starts with. No, it's not what it's about because it's built over time of all sorts.
What about Reznor?
Actually, it starts. Yes, with taking Raven's U.S. title for no fucking reason. Then it goes through running through Hulk Hogan for no reason. And then it goes into, hurting Smith, hurting Bret Hart.
Ruining the Fiend.
Do what?
Ruining the Fiend.
Ruining the Fiend. I mean, we could go through all sorts of things. What about Kevin Owens? Kevin Owens was the man. And they were like, oh, well, we could call this old fuck that nobody likes. We could bring him back and we give him a title and say, fuck Kevin Owens. And then we'll job him out for the rest of his fucking career. Goldberg brings nothing but despair and disappointment to my professional wrestling.
Well, I don't really disagree wholeheartedly with what you say, but I'm telling you right now, Goldberg's going over.
Yep, he is. Like Derek Jones said, you're not going to pay him all that money to do, X amount of matches and not put him over. They put him over Brock Lesnar. He almost squashed Brock Lesnar.
How do you watch Goldberg versus Undertaker and think you need to put the belt on him? How do you?
I'll tell you how.
And he looks like fucking Father Time, too.
I'll tell you how. They look at the merchandise sales.
Because he's over.
Shirts.
He's over.
I think that I would be so disgusted with a person wearing a Goldberg shirt that they could see it in my face. They would be able to read it.
If someone came into your place of business with a Goldberg shirt, would you abuse them?
I think so.
I remember in the height of the Monday Night Wars when we were going to go to maybe I don't think it was sold out. It could have been, but I remember, and I couldn't go. I ended up not going, but they asked me what sign that I want to make, and I remember I wanted to take a group of it was in Charleston, so we're going to take a group of 20 of us, and I said I wanted each person to have a letter and spell out Goldberg Schmoldberg.
Well, that's a crew of people right there. Goldberg
Goldberg.
I was actually at that event. My seats were so bad that my back was against the back of the arena. So that's how bad my seats were, but I still loved every second of it. We actually got to see David Flair wrestle for the very first time that night.
Oh no!
And he got whipped in the ring by Hulk Hogan. They whipped him with the belt. That was great.
Oh man, that's a sad era.
That same night, there was Scott Hall versus Goldberg in a taser on a pole match. And everybody was watching this match, and then all of a sudden there was a fight in the crowd, and everybody ran from Goldberg and Scott Hall to the real fight over across the way.
That's a West Virginia story.
Yeah, because that's how bad Goldberg sucks. Nobody wants to sit and watch him fight if other people are fighting.
He's winning, dude. He's going over. Derek Jones, tell him he's going over tonight. He's going over at SummerSlam. He's winning the championship.
Well, if you think so, then you just keep thinking that, and I'll keep thinking positive thoughts and see where we end up.
So we got the women's championship match, Nikki ASH versus Rhea versus Charlotte.
Vince McMahon does love a three-way.
Charlotte. The whole reason they gave the belt to Nikki Ash was to just give it to Charlotte again. They want to build her up to 16 times because they think she's going to stay when the rest of the world thinks she's about to go to AEW.
She's not going to AEW.
I don't know, man. She's in love.
Ugh, love is stupid.
She's in love and she's acting really strange, I think.
Love. It burns me up.
This is business, man. This is a wrestling business, not wrestling love.
So
like, look, well, who's she going to go to AEW and fucking work with? None of those girls can fucking wrestle.
Britt Baker can.
She can kind of wrestle. Rhea Ripley can wrestle. Sasha Banks can wrestle. Bianca Blair, as much as I'm not hot on her, can wrestle. Is she going to go fucking wrestle Julia Hart, who's fucking 4'11"? No, there's no woman who's over as a wrestler needs to go to AEW right now. Because they've got CM Punk, but they don't have anybody in the female side that has CM Punk.
They have Thunder Rosa and they have Britt Baker, so they're building.
So she can have two. She can have two good matches.
She can have two solid matches in AEW. So, what do you think about this triple threat match? Who are we going to see go over? Barker.
Man, I hope it's Nikki. I love her. I think she's awesome. You could only do that Rhea Charlotte for so long, and this was one of the problems with WWE is they just keep giving. They find something good, and then they just give it to you over and over and over. It's like going to your favorite restaurant that's a little too expensive to go to every weekend. It's like going to that restaurant 7 days a week. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte was the best match in WrestleMania 2 years ago. They had the best match, one of the best female matches that's ever happened a couple pay-per-views ago, and they just keep giving it to you. So I think that, like, I want it to be Nikki Ash, ASH or whatever. But how can they keep doing Charlotte versus Rhea? Like, Becky's going to have to come back eventually. You know what I mean? Like, they have to put more big names because the only 4 big names, and that gets back to AEW. Even WWE only really has 3 or 4 big name female wrestlers. They have Charlotte, they have Bianca, they have Sasha, and they have Rhea. Nikki's not Bayley. A big name.
Bayley.
But she's hurt for how long?
I have no idea. But you think Nikki's going to take the title at SummerSlam? Derek Jones, what do you think?
I want to see Rhea go over. I'm a strong believer in Rhea Ripley. She is what appears to be a legitimate badass female.
She's awesome.
And that's what you need to put your belt on. Is someone that looks like they would kick your ass and not someone that looks like they overshoot a moonsault every time they jump.
Okay. So, Matt Mullins, where do you stand on this triple threat?
I liked what Derek had to say, and I love Rhea, but I'm giving it to Charlotte.
Nice. I'm with you.
They're trying to keep her in the company too. I do think
that's true, man. And they fucked her over, man. You know, they gave her a false pregnancy test and screwed up a WrestleMania check for her.
Yeah, I think she's had one foot out the door anyway, and I think they're trying to keep her. So I think they're going to give her the title.
Good point.
Right, so do we have any other matches that matter on this card?
Bianca Belair versus Sasha.
Okay, I'm going to go with I don't really give a shit on that one. Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks can win, as far as I'm concerned, or Bianca Belair can win. I couldn't care any less.
I agree.
You got AJ and Omos versus Randy Orton and Riddle.
Let me, fellas, you know that I don't like Randy Orton. I think that he is the most boringest wrestler of the last 20 years. But Matt Riddle, that's right, Matt Riddle has made him entertaining. And I am ready for RK Bro to be the champions. I fucking think that RK Bro, that Matt Riddle has made Randy Orton actually entertaining for the first time in his whole career. And I'm for RK Bro winning the match.
Okay, well, I'm going to step in and tell you what I think. I believe that it's insane to not look at Randy Orton as one of the greatest wrestlers that are wrestling right now. Currently.
I've said it on our podcast. I have said it multiple times that I am very aware that if you were going to chisel out the perfect modern day wrestler, it would be Randy Orange. But someone forgot to give him charisma and the ability to fucking cut a promo.
I just
because he is this guy that does all of the dude. I've seen
coming from the same person that wanted to take Triple H out of the list of greats. I am not with you, Barker.
Dude, Triple H is Hulk Hogan compared to Randy Orton.
I would like to go on the opposite side and say Matt Riddle. God, it gets on my fucking nerves, and everything he does. And he is good. I don't dislike the guy, and I just wish that they were doing something different with him. The fact that he's running around on a scooter, and that the whole thing, and having Randy involved in that just pisses me off too. Some people are not supposed to be in joke spots. Randy Orton's one of them, and now he's sitting here in a joke tag team. They're trying to do this rock and sock connection thing, and it's just not getting over with me. And AJ Styles and Omos is fucking gold. Like this, that what they're doing is awesome. And it keeps AJ out of the title picture, which he doesn't need to be in right now because there's nothing for him there, and still keeps him on top. I would like to see AJ continue to dominate the tag team division with Omos just because it's so entertaining watching that happen.
But someone's got to teach Omos how to fucking work.
Honestly, he doesn't need to right now. He's Andre the Giant. He doesn't have to work. But
hey, if Adam Harris is here, wait a minute, hold on. If Adam Harris is here, he would take offense to that. Andre the Giant could fucking work.
Andre could work before we started watching wrestling, and so to us, he didn't work. But if you really deep dive, Andre really could work.
Yeah, man, that dude was throwing fucking drop kicks at 7'2", man. That guy could work.
Yeah, and he would let whoever.
Those drop kicks are probably why we didn't see him work when we were kids.
Fair enough.
Matt Mullins, where do you stand on this tag team match?
So I do love AJ and Omos, but I'm giving it to RK Bro.
RK Bro.
Derek Jones, where do you sit?
So Matt Riddle, from bell to bell, and only from bell to bell, is one of the most talented individuals you'll come across. From bell to bell.
Right.
Before the bell, he's an idiot. And after the bell, he's an idiot. And AJ Styles is on my Mount Rushmore. And Omos doesn't have to be able to work. He's the heater. He's the big guy. If he starts working like smaller guys, the appeal is gone. He's supposed to be slow. He's supposed to be scary. He's supposed to be Andre. Andre shouldn't be throwing drop kicks.
No,
it's not a thing. Just the fact that he
dude,
can,
the Giant was throwing drop kicks in the WCW.
Yeah, but he was greener than shit. And he the one thing I was going to your point, Derek, is on the latest Broken Skull sessions with Bobby Lashley. Bobby says he came from amateur wrestling because he was even going to be in the Olympic trials, and he was in a bank robbery. It blew out his knee. He was in the bank line and there was a bank robbery behind him. He got down and it hurt himself. Anyway, he said when he gets into pro wrestling, he attacks he attacks the ring the same way as amateur wrestling. And he said he's in the ring with Taker. And Taker told him, you got to slow down and stand all the way straight up because when you're crouched down, it makes you look smaller and you're already a big guy. And I think it's the same thing with Omos. Like if you have him work just like what you said to your point, if you have him working that smaller style, it takes away the shininess of him.
For everybody, when you're training to be a pro wrestler, you project to the people that work and that sit in the nosebleeds. If you're crouched and you're small and you're in a package, or you're doing maneuvers that don't allow you to project outward to the people that are sitting in the cheapest seats in the very top of the arena, you're not connecting with your audience.
All right, so do we have any more other matches on this card that we need to talk about?
We have Sheamus versus Damien Priest.
Who cares?
United States.
I do. Damien Priest, man.
Oh, Damien Priest is awesome, but like I'm so burnt on Sheamus. I'm burnt out on him.
I like Sheamus as a U.S. champ. I'm going to say Sheamus over keeping the title.
I like that. I don't think that Damien Priest is not enough personality to go over, in my opinion. Drew McIntyre versus Jinder.
Hold on for a second. Derek Jones wanted to rebut your Damien Priest take.
Sorry.
Damien Priest is going over in that match because they're trying to connect to another grouping of people in the world that they don't have that audience yet. He's going over and he's getting that belt.
Yeah, it could happen. It definitely could happen. Now, Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal, how the mighty have fallen.
Poor Drew.
I don't know. I know that Drew's going over. I mean,
what if he comes out?
He's not coming out. We know he's signed.
He's not coming out.
He's not coming out.
We actually know that for a fact.
Even though I do believe that a heel Heath versus a Drew McIntyre would have been a way better story and a way better match.
I agree. 100%.
Man, how did he not come out and get a job when he cut that fucking final promo on Drew? That shit was fuck. And we're not, and look, we all know we're all from the same state. We all, of course,
me and Matt
for this guy
involved in that situation because
I was going to say you all are personal friends with the guy.
Well, we helped him with that promo a little bit. We were pitching him ideas for for hours on that exact promo.
That's proof that they weren't paying attention because, man, Heath Slater at the time came out and laid down a blood and guts fucking almost like this might be overstating it, but dude, it's fucking 1 o'clock and it's time to overstate things. That was close to the Dusty Rose working man fucking promo. It was in that vicinity, man. That dude came out and fucking laid it down.
I teared up, like, for sure. Like, I was so proud of him.
Me too.
It was just like, I was like, fuck, I hope that they were paying attention to this. And
they obviously weren't.
No.
Yeah, obviously not. So before we get out of here for the evening, I want to mention Impact Emergence for just a second because we've talked about it a few times, but we didn't actually bring up the fact that Brian Myers and Christian Cage went for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship tonight, and then we seen Christian on Rampage. I don't know how they pulled that off unless it was recorded, but yeah, that was it was a better match than I expected. Did you get to see it, Matt Mullins?
I didn't, but I love both. I mean, I like both those guys a whole lot.
Derek Jones, you did see this match.
Absolutely.
This is a pretty good match.
Those are two of the cleanest workers. And, they may not be the most explosive or the most impressive or the most over the top, but everything they do hits every time. And it's so clean. It was such a good match.
Well, one thing that I wanted to say about this, just because it felt so good to see Christian Cage with the Impact World Heavyweight Championship. It felt like, like you said when CM Punk came out, you said all things are right in the world. Well, in the TNA world, when Christian Cage comes out with the TNA or with the Impact Championship, all things are right in the Impact universe. Really, like that's it felt good.
You can call me when Double J comes out and smashes him in the head with a guitar, but until then, I ain't watching Impact. Are you kidding me?
Oh, I'm definitely going to watch any wrestling I can. Right, Derek Jones?
Absolutely. We had dual screens going on, Smackdown on one, Emergence on the other, trying to absorb every second of it.
Trying to get it all down. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've been sitting here talking about this Friday night for fighting and all this awesome stuff that happened on a Wrestling Friday night with us here at the House of Kayfabe. And we wanted to share with you our opinions, and we hope that you have enjoyed it. Do not forget to give us a like on Facebook. Do not forget to follow us on Twitter. Do not forget to follow us on Instagram. And also make sure to click subscribe on YouTube, because we are on YouTube now. And officially, we will be on YouTube August 27th with a lot more content. So get ready. House of Kayfabe's coming at you a couple of different ways. And this is our first one where we did with video, and you got to see our ugly fucking faces. It was a great time, and I'm so glad that all of you joined me tonight. For Matt Mullins, Derek Jones, and Stephen Barker, I am Brian Reznor, and this is the House of Kayfabe. We will see you next time.
Partheni Brown.
Steve Classic.